Imagine, my friend, a man whose wife is killed by a particular zombie. Driven by vengeance, he sets out to hunt that zombie down, traveling across the world and killing every zombie he encounters, hoping to find and destroy the one responsible. Crazy and bizarre, right? Well, we're diving deep into this wild concept in today's video. Let's get started. The movie begins by revealing that a plague has swept across the world, leading to a zombie apocalypse. But these zombies are unlike any you've seen before. They can't come out during the day because sunlight burns them, much like vampires. The story then introduces Tony, a man traveling through desolate lands, killing zombies wherever he finds them. The reason for his mission? That's something we'll uncover as the story progresses. Tony finds a zombie locked in a fridge inside a shop, drags it out into the sunlight, and watches it burn. This is his routine, eliminating every zombie he comes across. As night falls, Tony dreams of his late wife Katie, who was killed by zombies. Heartbroken, he wakes up and his mission becomes clear. He's out to rid the world of zombies, to avenge her death. Later, Tony enters an abandoned house to kill more zombies. He encounters a figure and begins firing, but the person doesn't move. On closer inspection, he realizes it's not a zombie, but a young woman who had taken her own life. Before he can leave, more zombies attack. Tony fights them off, managing to kill all but one. After a fierce struggle, he takes down the last one and leaves. One evening, Tony is on a rooftop marking kills on his rifle with strips of tape. Each strip symbolizing a zombie he's killed. He hears a commotion below and sees a seemingly deranged woman sitting in the street with a doll, claiming it's her child. Moments later, a police car arrives and 4 officers, including a young woman named Sam, step out. One officer, Mike, approaches the woman to check on her, but it's a trap. A gang ambushes them, killing Mike and the others, leaving only Sam alive. Brass, everything is black and white. As the gang surrounds Sam, ready to attack, Tony intervenes, shooting down the gang members one by one. He even injures their leader but spares him momentarily to ask about the crazed woman. The gang leader explains that she's Annabella, a woman who lost her son and has since helped the gang lure victims. Tony leaves him to die and walks away. Sam convinces Annabella to join her, promising safety and a place to live. They encounter Tony again and ask for his help to reach a settlement where Sam's group resides. In exchange, she offers him supplies and ammunition. Tony agrees, and the 3 set off together on a dangerous journey. After some time, the group finally reaches a location near the settlement where Sam's group is based, a secure prison that they've fortified for safety. By then, night has fallen, and the zombies have begun to emerge. Unfazed, Tony presses on, determined to reach the prison. As they approach the gates, Sam contacts Ethan, a member of the group monitoring the security cameras. She urgently informs him that she's outside with zombies close behind and asks him to open the gates quickly. Ethan alerts the group, starting with Chris, Mike's brother, who was killed by the gang. The 2 head to Frank, Ethan's father and the group's leader, and gather the rest of the team. Together, they rush to open the gates, fighting off the zombies alongside Tony to secure a safe entry. Inside, Tony notices a particular zombie among the horde and becomes visibly agitated, desperate to kill it. However, the gates close before he can act, leaving him frustrated. Later, the group gathers to debrief. Sam explains what happened to Mike and their team, detailing the gang's attack and how Tony saved her. One of the group members, Dowgan, distrusts Tony, suggesting he might have been part of the gang and only turned on them for personal gain. This creates tension, especially with Chris, who accuses Tony of being involved in his brother's death. Sam manages to calm everyone down and shifts the focus to their main objective, escaping to safety. She reveals that Mike and the group had discovered a plane they could use to flee to a zombie-free settlement. The news excites everyone. They plan to retrieve the plane the next morning, with Vince, a trained pilot, set to fly it. Frank informs Tony that he'll provide the promised supplies after the mission, but for now, Tony must relinquish his weapons for safety reasons. Though annoyed, Tony eventually complies, persuaded by Sam. Ethan takes Tony to his sleeping quarters and explains Frank's cautious behavior, which stems from losing his other son, Raven, who turned into a zombie. Curious, Tony asks Ethan about the large zombie he had seen earlier. Ethan reveals that it's not an ordinary zombie. It's called Alpha. It's intelligent, commands other zombies, and has an eerie ability to organize them. Ethan questions Tony's interest, but Tony avoids answering. That night, Sam visits Tony and he confides in her. Alpha was the one who turned his wife, Katie, into a zombie, and he's been hunting it ever since. From now on, the group refers to the zombie as Alpha. Later, while Ethan monitors the cameras, they suddenly go dark. Alarmed, he calls Chris and Frank to investigate. Gunshots echo through the halls, and the group realizes a zombie has infiltrated the prison. Chaos erupts as the creature attacks, killing several people before Tony manages to take it down. However, the horror isn't over. A bitten survivor starts showing signs of transformation. With heavy hearts, the group is forced to eliminate him. The next morning, the group prepares to leave for the plane. However, when they try to open the main gate, they find it blocked. The zombies have piled destroyed vehicles against it, preventing an escape. Realizing the zombies strategically trapped them, the group retreats to Frank's office to brainstorm a plan. Some suggest removing the vehicles during the day, but others argue it's futile, as the zombies will return at night. The group is left grappling with the harsh reality of their predicament. Tony steps up with a bold idea, explaining to everyone that they should give him weapons and explosives so he can head to the hotel where Alpha and his army are hiding. His plan is to take Alpha out entirely, which would scatter the horde and give everyone a clear chance to escape without being pursued. Though Tony's plan sounds a bit reckless and crazy, the group agrees. It's the only viable option they have left. After some time, Tony and his group, Chris, Ethan, Vlad, and Drew, head toward the hotel where Alpha and his horde are hiding. Their goal is clear: eliminate Alpha and scatter the zombies, giving everyone a chance to escape. Meanwhile, Sam leads another group to search for vehicles they can use for their escape. As Tony's team reaches the hotel, they carefully enter and begin searching for Alpha. They come across various zombies, which they quickly dispatch, but the real challenge lies ahead. Eventually, they find Alpha and the other zombies in the basement, all resting during the day. Drew moves to plant an explosive to take them all out, but a zombie attacks and kills him before he can detonate it. The commotion wakes the horde, and chaos ensues. Tony and the others fight their way out as the basement fills with rampaging zombies. Despite their efforts, Vlad is bitten, but he continues to fight valiantly until the end, buying time for the rest of the group. Tony and Ethan manage to reach the roof, but realize that Chris, who has the rope for their escape, is missing. They go back to search for him, only to find that he's been killed by the zombies. Heartbroken, Ethan retrieves the rope from Chris's body. When a zombie attacks Ethan, Tony steps in to save him. However, upon discovering that Ethan has been bitten, Tony has no choice but to put him down, devastated. He uses the rope to descend from the roof, narrowly escaping the pursuing zombies. Meanwhile, back at the prison, Sam returns with a small car, but it's not enough to transport everyone. Dugan, selfish as ever, arrives with another small car and proposes to take Vince the pilot to the plane, abandoning everyone else. Vince refuses, standing by the group. Shortly after, another member of the team arrives with a bus that can accommodate everyone, bringing a glimmer of hope. Just then, Tony arrives at the prison, but he's trailed by hundreds of zombies. The group scrambles to fight them off as they rush to secure the bus. In the chaos, Dugan tries to flee on his own but is killed. Inside the prison, the survivors put up a fierce fight. Tragically, Frank is killed, but the group doesn't lose their resolve, fighting valiantly to protect one another. During the battle, Tony comes face to face with Alpha. Overcome with rage, he engages in a brutal fight with the intelligent zombie. Their violent struggle leads them to the roof, where Tony cleverly traps Alpha in the sunlight. The sun's rays burn Alpha and he dies a fiery death. For Tony, this moment marks the fulfillment of his vengeance for his wife Katie. With Alpha defeated, the immediate threat subsides. Tony bids farewell to Sam, Vince, and the others, wishing them a safe journey to the plane and their new home in the colony. Tony, however, decides to continue his mission, vowing to rid the world of as many zombies as possible. As he walks away, both he and Sam wonder if their paths will cross again. The movie ends with Tony and Sam heading in opposite directions, uncertain of what the future holds, but determined to survive. And with that, the story concludes.